Good morning, Vietnam? I don't know. I've given up trying to think of ways to describe this place in an amusing manner to appease you. Why am I appeasing you? The fact that you're here says that you love me anyway. I'm gonna going strong, going hard in the paint. About shit. Talk about conspiracy theory, or just conspiracy. Unfortunately, with the term conspiracy theory, it has become, this has been a long time coming, a very dirty word. Because obviously, conspiracy theorists, I mean, when you think of some of the top level ones, the most well known, I mean, just take David Icke, Mark Dice, for example. I mean, you know, you can kind of see where people are coming from, can't you? There's some loony business going on there, but amusing at the same time. No help. I'm no hater. If you can make millions and millions from pushing the idea that the royal family are intergalactic space lizards, good on you. Why not? I mean, there's worse things you can do for money out there. And there's more respectable people doing worse things for money out there. Okay? We just sort of think that it's acceptable. We think this sort of douchebaggery is tolerable. Well, it's not. The thing is with conspiracy theories is it gets muddled up with conspiracy. Conspiracy is real, obviously, because there are conspiracies that have been revealed to be real. Some very bizarre and hideous ones. But a conspiracy theory is a theory. But also, the Big Bang Theory is a theory, isn't it? It's a theory. There's no evidence that I know of. There's no concrete evidence, is there? Is there? Have you seen it? The theory of relativity. There's many theories in mainstream society that we all just accept and think that's fine. But if you've got a theory about, I don't know, aliens living amongst us or something, and you've got all this sort of varying degrees of evidence that you've got to say this could be a real thing. They'll call you a nutter, won't they? Problem is with conspiracy theories as well, a lot of people that talk about them continuously are very ill-informed themselves. They don't really know what they're talking about. They're just saying sound bites all the time. Like a lot of people, it's just a sound bite. Just parroting off a sound bite. You know, like 9/11, yeah, but metal doesn't melt that way at that degree heat. Like, all right. Thousands of people after 9/11 become industry experts in the industry of constructional engineering. How did this happen? Well, none of them went to college or university. And none of them even did a 2-month sign-up on Skillshare to learn it. Do the free trial. They didn't even do that. They just made it up in their own little heads. Well, they saw a video on YouTube and just went, yeah, that's the one. But that doesn't mean that it should all be dismissed. And that doesn't mean that people don't have the right to believe in certain things. Because there's a lot of fucked up shit going on. End of story, really. One of the unfortunate things about conspiracy theories on YouTube, just to bring it to the YouTube thing, it used to be a gold mine, and you used to be able to go down a really good rabbit hole of lunacy. And it's entertaining and it's amusing to have an insight into what people know. And within everything, there could be like 5 to 10% truth in all nonsense. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's just all so cleaned up now. Over the years, the gentle erosion of everything that was great about YouTube has just happened. If you go back in time 5 years or 10 years and look at the YouTube landscape, what you could view on there and what would be recommended to you, it is a completely different world. Just thinking back at it. But slowly but surely, it's all been removed. People have been silenced. People have been blocked. People have been shadow banned or outright banned. Where mainstream opinion is reigning supreme, and yet it was a place that championed something different, and that's why it became so popular. It was different to the norm. It could provide you with all sorts of content, took you away from TV, and then slowly but surely they eradicated everything you could say. And then they propped up the mainstream, and now the mainstream dominates it, unfortunately. This is kind of what happens with everything. This is what's happening with your life right now. And this isn't some sort of bonkers theory, because it's true, because the facts are there. You just have to look at it. Why is it happening? What's the motive? This is the debatable stuff. But the actual facts of what's happening are undeniable. So look at YouTube. It's slowly but surely, in a few years' time, what's going to be on there? What can you actually put out on there? What will you be able to find? There'll be a huge amount of stuff you won't be able to find. It has gone from the world's second biggest search engine to the world's most censored search engine. Is probably the best way to describe it. Because you'll still find that shit on Google, won't you? Or will you? Well, we don't know. That's the next step. Who knows? So you can't. I don't know how you could claim yourself to be or people can still make the claim, it's the world's second biggest search engine, when there's a hell of a lot of stuff you can't search for on there anymore, because it's just not there. It doesn't mean this stuff doesn't exist, but to some people, it doesn't exist anymore. I've seen... Now, people are losing their minds at the moment, at this moment in time. That's quite clear, Can you blame people for losing their minds? No, not at all. Because the weird thing is, when people are going out there and saying, look what's happening to us, our rights been taken away, we are locked down at home, people say they're crazy, but they're not. They're absolutely correct, aren't they? You are. You have been forced to stay at home. You are enforced to stay at home. You're not physically... well... I don't know. Are they physical? I don't know. They might be. Some might be. They haven't gone full-blown Chinese and welded your door shut yet in the UK and other aspiring nations. But there's fines, arrests, and the best one, obviously, is becoming a social pariah and having your neighbours turn on you, friends and family, mock you and belittle you and turn their backs on you. That's quite an effective method, don't you think? Quite a terrifying one as well. Oh, you might think, you're blowing this out of proportion. We need to save lives. We need to flatten the curve. We need to flatten the curve. We must protect the NHS. Oh, really? And where did you get that from? Oh, yeah. You're just parroting what other people have said to you, haven't you? This is the facts. You can say to one conspiracy theorist that they'll be parroting things. Just parroting things that they've heard. Metal doesn't melt that way. The same thing. But you're going, flatten the curve, protect the NHS. You're saying the same things. You don't know you don't know anything. You don't know anything, do you? What do you actually know? What do you actually know? Is everybody suddenly become sort of above average on their knowledge base on everything? I was like, yeah, I know more than that. I know what's up. No, you don't. Did you ever think that you just don't know? Look, I've seen a guy on Facebook who is consistently posting about, the fact that this whole thing is blown out of proportion, and, he's obviously hurting from not working, like a lot of people would be, and he's fucking had enough of it, hasn't he? And everyone's turning on him. Everybody. Comment after comment going, I love you, man, but, you've got to stop doing this. You're losing it, man, you're losing it. But he hasn't lost it. And they will say the same talking points over and over again. Protect the NHS, flatten the curve. You're just parroting off other stuff. You don't know, do you? You don't know. And the fact that they're going to ban people from talking about certain things or sharing alternative ideas or theories, because a hell of a lot of stuff is a theory. Do you know, a few months ago, the World Ho Organization, as I like to call them, You know, the ones who've got Winnie the Pooh's dick up their ass, them lot, the WHO. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you know, their little thing will be below me right now. So if you're listening to this is me throwing up a finger to that little bit that will be on YouTube that says the World Health Organization. That's me just flipping a finger off to them. Don't forget, they had a theory that, you know, that was passed on from the Chinese government, that there was no human to human, you know, you couldn't contract it. There was no human to human contract it. What was the word? You know, you couldn't pass it on from human to human. Humans couldn't spread it to other humans. Now that's misinformation, is it not? Yes, it is misinformation, because now it's been revealed to not be the case. Whether, you know, whatever theory you want to believe about that, you know, were they lying, or just did they not know? Were they paid to shut their mouth? That bit doesn't matter. The bit that does matter is, at the time, that's what they thought. And therefore that's what other people thought. But that is incorrect. Okay? It is incorrect. So if someone else has a theory about what's going on, or has some data that suggests otherwise, why is that going to be banned? Why? There's two schools of thought here. There's either they are just suppressing us, or they're douchebags. The truth is always in the middle, my friends. They're suppressing douchebags. You'll see this with the media as well, how awful they've been, and how they've kind of pushed forward the idea. They've gone from supporting protest. It's all very, it's all very well for children to walk out of school and congregate en masse and, you know, protest all the world governments like some sort of death cult, making us believe that the world's going to be on fire in 12 years. That's fine. It's fine for a bunch of Fruit Loops to have a little shindig in the middle of London, you know, bringing traffic to a standstill because they don't like Donald Trump's hair. You know, that's fine. But when people are wanting to actually protest because they've been imprisoned in their own homes, now I know you're going to go, but it's for their own good. I think you're missing the point, aren't you? The point is, that's a little concerning, I think. The right to protest is a basic right of a democratic society. And when they bring something in that says you are not allowed to congregate in groups larger than 10 people, as many places have, you are not allowed to go protest. Oh, but you can all walk outside and clap for the NHS, but you can't go protest the decisions of the government. You must stay indoors. That is concerning, and that is why you need to question it. It doesn't matter, because guess what? You're not an expert on pandemics. You're not an expert on viruses or diseases or anything, are you? Are you? So don't have a go at the person that questions it all and says, hey, we need to, this is fucked up. They're monitoring us, they're doing this, they're taking away our liberties, because they're slowly eroding. The erosion of our rights it's a very slow game. It's been going on for fucking decades. Look at what happened after post 9/11. Everyone was fine with all the nonsense. And then eventually what do you get? They're actually spying on you through your television. That's some conspiracy theory shit. That's loony shit. When you go, the government are spying on me through my... It's 1995, and you go, hey, I think the TV's listening to me. I'm like, all right, mate, you need to stop smoking that shit. I'm telling you, bruv, a fucking TV is listening to me, yeah? It's listening to me, and then you smash the TV out. Well, roll on a decade or so, the TV was listening to you. It was. And your phone's listening to you, Facebook's listening to you all the fucking time. Even when you're nowhere near Facebook. You could be in the middle of in the ocean, you know, doing a bit of fishing or disposing of your wife. Facebook knows what you're doing. That's all fine, isn't it? It's to protect us. Shut up, bruv. It's to protect us. Well, if you're not up to no good, then why should you be worried? Because the people in charge are idiots usually, and some of them are psychopaths. You know, do you think we'd be looking at Milosevic or something and going, yeah, if you're not doing anything wrong, then it's all right if he spies on us through the television. And, you know, the ethnic Albanians are there going, yeah, that's all right, yeah. Well, we know what happened to them, don't we? Isn't it? What a most unfortunate decision. What a most unfortunate trail of thought, isn't it? To be an ethnic Albanian. It was ethnic Albanians he killed. Well, whoever he killed a lot of them. Wouldn't that be a very bad way of thinking? Especially if you're in the UK, if you're very far left, you think that the far right are going to murder all Muslims, and if you're very far right, you think all the Muslims are going to murder you. But one of you is going to say, well, it's all right if the TV's spying on me, and then the people in charge, the people you think that are going to murder all the people you don't want to be murdered, suddenly start listening through the TV and murdering you. Bad decision time. Do not mock the people that want to go out and protest. And it's very concerning the media outlets that will mock them are the same ones. I've seen videos from Now This, Trevor Noah, people like this, these corporate whorebags who go out there and just completely mock people. Now, going back to 2013, 2014, when I told them not to mock people because of their concerns over mass immigration and the concerns over this and the concerns over the conspiratorial views of the government. Do not mock these people because you will push them over there. And no one listened, and look where we're at now. And you're still mocking them. You still haven't learned you just haven't learned a thing. Now, things haven't gone as crazy far right as I thought they might have been, or as anyone did. If anything, nationalism and populism has risen in place of something far nastier, and there could be something nastier. So you consider yourself to be lucky for that, with all your mocking and finger pointing and shit, and you're still doing it. So you need to fucking stop, don't you? Because you are responsible for this. You are responsible for your own actions, and your actions have caused other people to act a bit iffy in your fucking view. So you need to shut the fuck up. It's not it's not them that needs to be silenced and go home. It's you that needs to be silenced. If we're going to play the whole shutting down and silencing game, your mouth is running way too much. Right? Your mouth's cashing checks. Your fucking dick can't cash, or whatever the expression is. Anyway, you limp dick fuck. You can't do it, can you? That shit's concerning. When you have mainstream and mass corporations who have these twat glove puppets, just they're mocking people for just feeling a bit openly calling for the ban on the right to congregate and protest. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. And you'll get the same people. Who, let's take the UK as an example. People who just constantly spread stuff around, having a go at the Conservative government and going, you should burn in hell. Don't believe a word that they say. They're all liars. They did this to us. They hate them. They hate the government. They hate the Conservative government. They hate Boris Johnson. They don't believe a word that they say. But he says, hey, you need to stay indoors and not go outside because this, and you need to give up your job, okay? And you need to lose money, and you have to do all these things. If you go outside for more than an hour, we're going to arrest you. You have to do all these things. Why? Well, because of this pandemic and there's this virus, blah 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 blah. That's why. And then, suddenly he's not a liar anymore. Apparently, that's absolutely fine. This person you absolutely vilify and say, don't believe a word that they say. Oh, he told you to stay indoors, and from what I looked, you just stayed indoors. Wow, how fascinating. Well, what kind of a person do you think you are now? What sort of values do you think you have? Do you think that's fine? You're like, oh, I'll just stay indoors then. Fascinating, isn't it? How does it feel to be you when you went, this lying piece of shit? Yeah, I'll stay indoors. I mean, you're the kind of person I would quite happily, ring up and say, hello, you've won £10 million. What are your bank details? You're the person I'm calling. You're the person I'm scamming. I'm going to write to you posing as a hot St. Lucian big booty bitch. I'm going to send you ass shots and everything going, hey, daddy. Send you a massive fucking 4-page... You don't really get pages in an email, do you? Well, it'll be 4 A4 pages worth of fucking script saying, hey, hello. I've had a hard life and I've got a sweet, sexy ass covered in baby oil, okay? I need 10 G's. Okay, well, but I'm not a liar. You're going to give me the money. You're that fucking gullible. So, yeah, I'm hitting your emails up look out for me. I've got 10 different aliases, all of them sexy. Okay? Yeah. Any type that you're into, got it covered. I'm coming for your money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You you believe people are liars and you listen to everything that they say? You don't know any better than someone who believes in the conspiracy of things. Okay? You don't know any better. You think you do. Now, obviously, I hope you know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the people that think this way. I'm not suddenly turning on you. Or you. Or you. Mwah. I'm just saying, you don't know any better. Because the people that will read up on the conspiracy will only know the information that they've been presented with. Not everyone's investigating. The same way that you, as in the mainstream person, Mr. Normal, Mr. and Mrs. Normal, everything's regular, you know, I believe in the mainstream, you know, the sky is blue, black is white and white is black. These motherfuckers, you think you're sort of superior because what? Because the knowledge, because the things that you've been told are apparently better than the other things that people have been told, and yet neither of you really know, do you? Because you're not investigative journalists, you're not detectives. You're just literally just parroting. You'll see it all the time. They just parrot off exactly the same thing. You sound like fucking robots. Yes, flatten the curve, protect the NHS, stay at home, stay lives. Yeah, I mean this is the mantra of an idiot. I have to say. You know what I'm saying? It literally sounds like that. Then I'm not saying you should all go outside and start hugging and kissing and shit. I ain't hugging and kissing none of you fucks. I'm just saying you sound like an idiot because you don't actually know, do you? So how do you know better than the conspiracy man who says, well, I've heard this and I've heard that? As if they're the same people that just, this is what the media sort of has really sort of squeezed our brains. Imagine your brain is the knowledge sponge. It's full of water. Call it knowledge juice. You got bare knowledge juice up in your box. And the media just went and they squeezed all your knowledge out. And they filled it up with, you know, out-of-date Ribena. Is what they did. Because on the one hand, when there's something you know about, this is textbook shit. When there's something you know about and you read a newspaper article and you go, well, that's completely inaccurate and absolute bullshit. What a load of nonsense. And then you read the next article about something you don't know about and go, how interesting. Did you get it? It's like, you only know what you know. And you believe everything you're being told. For decades, we've known that newspapers and media outlets just lie and lie and lie. Always lie. Politicians lie. The media lies. They've been exposed for lying continuously. And yet, you're still parroting all the nonsense that they say. Flatten the curve, stay at the edge. Like, you're there. And then they go, yeah, go out and clap at 8 p.m. You're like, yeah. Now I'm just going to go and sit in my own feces for another week. You're somehow superior because what? The points that you actually don't know about are better than someone else's. Just because you trust someone. You just trust too many people. Like I said, you know, you're the person. You're the McGanns. You're going out for dinner and leaving your kids alone to get kidnapped because you trust too many people. Going, well, what's the worst could happen? I don't know, 8 million quid's worth of public taxpayers' money spent looking for your kid just because you couldn't be fucked a pat for a babysitter. It's costing £8 million. I digress. Mr. and Mrs. Trustworthy. Good for you. How's that working out for you? Oh, apparently it's not working out very well, is it? I mean, we quickly become conditioned to persecute and have a go at all the people, you know, trying to just live their life, going out to a park, you know, people who are taking responsibility, as if no one can take responsibility. A lot of people can take responsibility, but we've allowed it to get to a situation where we can't take any responsibility for what we do. You know, people are getting held up for hiking up a mountain. I mean, what people driving around in a car? You're in a fucking car. It's way more foolproof than a mask. It's a car. You can cough your guts up in a car, and it'll be fine. You can, you could corona the shit out of your fucking car. On the inside, it'll be fine. Obviously, if you're posh and have a valet, he's dead, but... I mean, that's a little bit much, isn't it? And the fact that you're all turtle quitching? That'll be the new term. I've seen it, you're curtain twitching, you're taking videos being, look, who are these in the park, what are they doing? Whose children are these? Instantaneously. In fact, way back, I remember seeing people retweeting, and this is in January, I remember when it was just a problem for the Chinese, and they were retweeting videos of, Chinese police removing people from cars because they suspected them of having corona. And then where they went after that, who knows? Maybe they had to, went off to get their organs harvested. That was happening. There's people retweeting going, see, that's how it's done. Good. Yeah, good. You see? This is the thing. You and most people, you're kind of fine with this happening to other people. The same as everyone. You're fine with it if it protects you or it's got nothing to do with you. It's when it happens to you, then suddenly you're all like, oh, boo, hoo, 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 hoo. Every time, man. You want your enemies to get shut down, and then they use exactly the same tactics to shut you down. Look at you could take it to like right-wing journalism when they were completely happy as Larry with all the new regulations about, terror laws and stuff. All these regulations brought in, all these new laws, all these acts saying this, that, and the other, and you'll be banned from the country. And then right-wing journalists were turned away at the fucking UK border because they fell underneath that very same terror law. Do you see how it works? This is constantly explained to people, but they just don't care. I mean, the fact is, look at all the things that have been put in place, all the measures. Look what your government can do with something that has a lower mortality rate than many other things. It's just, all right, it's very contagious. Well, bullshit's contagious too. Extremely contagious. There's more people suffering from the symptoms of bullshit than there is from coronavirus, okay? There are more brainwashed morons than there are people that have coronavirus. That's why more people die from coronavirus, because people have been made stupid. If people hadn't been made so fucking stupid by the media and the government and the piss-poor education system, then, less people would be dead. That's a theory. And it's a fucking strong one too. Alright? You're welcome to use that one at a dinner party. Or a Zoom dinner party, whatever the hell weird shit you're doing now. What I'm saying is you have no superiority over anybody. Like, how many things can you be an expert in until you're just parroting what everyone says? Whereas me, I'm just like, I don't know. All crises are there to be exploited. Both sides of the political aisle are exploiting it for everything they can get. They are running rampant with it. They are fully enjoying it. Okay? And the media outlets that love pushing fear and division, they're running with it too. It's not a case of it's not a case of there's some big conspiracy to have us all silenced and have us, suppressed and have a totalitarian regime put in place. But the thing is, we don't know. Because if you look at the way the media acts, you look at the way the government's reacted, and you look how easily people have conformed to it and turned into fucking snitches on their own family, just outright defriending people, pointing fingers at them, calling them idiots. The fact that is so easy to have, it just happens so easily, tells you that, well, we're definitely headed in the wrong fucking direction. We've been headed in the wrong direction for quite a while now. Because the clowns have been useful pawns in this world, in this big world game. And unfortunately, we're in a situation now where most of the information that you can spread out there to the people that used to be in our hands is occupied by people who love censorship, people who love It likes silencing people. People who decide what they think is right because they know what's right about coronavirus rather than other experts. The people working at YouTube or at Google or Facebook. The scientists that work... Oh, yeah, there's no fucking scientists there, is there? This is what should concern you. That your access to information, the most popular platforms to get information out there and gather information are all owned by some ideological fucking weirdos who all live in a square mile of each other in a very weird place near a city where tramps freely shit on the pavement, where the difference between the rich and the poor is astronomically crazy. They literally live in ivory towers up in the San Francisco hills, looking down on crackheads and smackheads pooing on each other. That's their life. And they're happy there too. Would you be happy there? Would you like to live in a big mansion and have a view of all the people crapping on each other? I guess the people that like that kind of thing are those sort of weird kings and queens that you read in fairy stories. But this is no fairy story, this is fucking reality. The reality is way scarier than the fairy story. Mainstream people. Because do not forget that the people out there that will poo-poo the conspiracy, poo-poo the theories being gathered about what's going on, what's being taken away from us. These are the same people that believe their own conspiracy theories, but they think that's fact, even though it's not based on any facts. These are the people that believe in Russian collusion. They also believe that Russia somehow masterminded Brexit through Facebook ads. It's like, have you ever run a Facebook ad campaign? Terrible. They believe their own conspiracy theories. You go talk to most regular people, you'll find a hell of a lot of regular people who will not believe in the moon landings and believe that 9/11 is an inside job. But as soon as you start talking factual stuff about other things, about saying how the infiltration of weird ideology is completely, is just swallowing up all our cultural media outlets and brainwashing everybody, which is just go look around. It's like, there's some weird shit out there. The fact that there's less and less that you can say, there's less and less ways of you getting your voice out there, and more people are going underground, and the more and more things that the government can exploit, the more things that the media can exploit, the more rights they take away from you. You explain this stuff in depth to them and give them all the examples. They're like, no, that's conspiracy nonsense, but 9/11's an inside job and Russia made Donald Trump president. They'll believe that, though. They'll believe... Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they believe that. That's a theory. That's a fucking theory that hasn't been proven. These are the people telling you you're an idiot. Remember that. Me, I live in the middle where everything's sweet. These are the same people. Go talk to some people. Go out there and protest and say, we want to be let out. They'll call you an idiot. But these people will go, wow, Big Pharma actually know what the cure for cancer is. You need to eat apricot kernels instead of getting chemotherapy. Well, I wish I told my dad that. This is the kind of things they'll say. But you'll say to them, going, well, you know what's happening with your civil liberties being taken away and the erosion of freedom of speech. No, that's a load of nonsense. Shut up. But Big Pharma, though, they've got the cure for cancer. And the Rothschild control all the central banks. Those people will tell you you're crazy for saying that this coronavirus thing has gotten out of hand. Those people, they'll tell you you're crazy. Interesting, isn't it? Those are the people that tell you you're crazy. Wow. If only I'd known I was the crazy one in the conversation. These are the facts. We only know what we've been told. And one of the worst thing that goes on is there's so much information out there that's been released by the legitimate sources that everyone trusts that prove a lot of things are correct. So much stuff is actually out in the open. This is why I talk to people and say, hey, a lot of conspiracy theories are bullshit, because there's a hell of a lot of stuff out there that is fucking crazy, that is readily available. But you go and try and talk to someone who's a regular, everyday Joe and Karen average. That's a popular term these days, isn't it? Karen. Karen. That's a way to tell old women to shut up. Old white women. It's the persecution of old white women. The Karen. Anyway, you go tell Jim and Karen average about MK Ultra, or go tell them that shit's fucking crazy. Or tell them about how Free Ray Rick Ross was supplied cocaine by the CIA. I mean, that shit's crazy, but it's all true, isn't it? It actually happened. It's true. I hate to break it to you, but it's true. This all fucking happened. And you go tell people that, and they'll go, no, that's an absolute load of nonsense. That's some sort of alt-right internet conspiracy theory that you read on 4chan Gab. Like, no, this is real. You can go look it up. They go, no, this is nonsense. Well, where did you get that from? Files released by the government? No, they won't believe it. Even when stuff's out there, they won't believe it. This is why, clickbait is so effective. There's only so much information you can process in the first place anyway. All you need is a snappy title. That's all you need. Don't forget, there are people out there that will talk to you like they think they got some huge knowledge base on a subject, and they've literally read the headline and the subheadline of an article, and that they think that's enough for them to know what's going on. There are people out there like that exist. Do not forget this. You can't blame people for not being able to see what's stuff that's actually going on when the information is widely available, because for decades and decades, and I was talking about this last night, for decades and decades and decades, maybe centuries, you've had people stalking the royal family. Look at how they stalk Princess Diana. You got people out there who would just wait in bushes with telescopic lenses, waiting to get a photograph of a member of the royal family in a bikini, and that'll be front page news. You know more about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, because that's the new example, or in the 90s you knew more about Prince Charles and Princess Diana than you did about cancer, about foreign policy. You know more about their lives than you know about nutrition, economics, investment, the immune system, mental health, all these things that could make your life fucking sweet. You don't know nothing, because all you know is, you know the colour of Bonnie Prince George's jumpsuit when he was 1.5. They turned communication. The television was called the idiot box for a reason. And there's a reason why they use newspaper to wrap up fish and chips. Because it's a toilet. The television's a toilet. The newspapers is a toilet. The internet managed to get us out of the toilet. And then the toilet decided to follow into the internet. And now the toilet is trying to swallow up the whole internet. It's time to escape the toilet. The toilet's got to fucking go. Blockchain library. Stay tuned. Because I'll be encouraging all my content to be consumed away from these fucking platforms, like everyone else should be. The future is blockchain, the future is away from this stuff. This might seem like this is a massive long infomercial for that, but I'm saying I'm investing in it, so should you. But the fact is, you can't blame people for not knowing better, can you? And you, Karen and Jim Average, are the same as the other people. Where'd you get that information? The internet? Fuck off. Where'd you get your information from? The Guardian? The Mail? Brilliant. Because they've got standards, haven't they? I've written a 6-year-old's diary that has less inaccuracies than that fucking piece of shit newspaper collectives. let it be known, kiddlywinks, brethrens, that you just been so used to consuming nonsense. And look at Facebook, for goodness sake. It is just a toilet. It's a dump. It's the same dump as the television. You don't know enough about anything. All you know is parroting points and sound bites that you've read 1,000 times. Well, guess what? That's how brainwashing works. It's even in marketing. If you keep repeating the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, then people believe it. You know, Nike, just do it. Carlsberg, the greatest lager in the world. Or was that Carling? Whichever one it was, they're both a lie anyway. These mantras, that's how it works. Just keep saying the same thing over and over and over. The sky is green, the sky is green. Guess what? The sky becomes fucking green. This is well known. This isn't loony talk. Go read a book. There's loads of books that'll tell you. Just keep telling them the same thing, and everyone just repeats the same thing, the same thing, the same thing, the same thing. Guess what? Flatten the curve, stay indoors, save the NHS. Stay inside, it saves lives. Listen to yourselves. Jesus Christ. Go to 1995 again and beam forward into the future and have a look at your dystopian selves and go, you cut your wrists in a bath. Hopefully you've taken a shitload of drugs before doing it. Have a good one. You know, go out in style. But you will. Welcome to the nightmare future. Jesus Christ. I'm so glad I'm in Vietnam. Who would have thought being a fairly totalitarian one-party state would give you so much more freedom? Hey. Just think about it. But there you are, man. If you are one of these people that's concerned about what's going on, and you know, and it is concerning that you've been told to stay indoors and you've been told you can't, you know, this is why, you know, Jim and Karen Average need to listen. When the most basic freedoms you can have is to feed yourself and earn money, and yet you can't do that. You've been told you cannot go out and earn money. When there's so many people out there that refuse to work, and we're like, go get a fucking job. And when you see so many people going crazy because they want to work and they've been told they can't because they have to stay indoors, and people have a go at them and call them conspiracy nutters because they're a bit pissed off about not being allowed to, they want to work and they're not allowed, that's when shit's all fucked up. And if you start picking on these people and calling them fucking idiots, you're an idiot. You're the fucking moron. Because you don't care about people. You know, go out and clap for the fucking NHS. Jim and Karen Average. I got my eye on you, you little pricks. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. I'm going to keep it a bit shorter today. But that is what I have to say. If you like everything I do, and you must do, because you would have stayed to this point in the video, unless you've skipped to the end for some weird reason, because you thought there was a giveaway or something. Please go on to my website and sign up to the mailing list and support the content there. There will eventually be a library link where I want to get everything. When the library platform starts working better, I'm going to support it more. And have all my content direct through there. You know, go on the website, like, share, download, subscribe, click the bell, whichever platform you're on. Do all that things. And go out and enjoy yourselves. Fuck it. Go outside, okay? Because you are a responsible person who can take responsibility for your own actions. Okay, and the actions of idiots, well, you know how you deal with that. Go outside with a big stick. Problem solved. That's what I do. Anyway, keep being beautiful.